So now we are going to create a new button that would prompt a user to review a course that he didn't review but he bought. And it's going to be right under the button that he bought a course. So we're going to go to our course view and we're going to add a review button. Now, you might have already guessed that we're going to add this button in our courses helper. So we're going to helpers and searching for course helper. Okay, and we're going to create a new button. So dev review button for the course. Now, first we're going to check if we have a current user, because people who are not logged in are also going to see the list of courses. So if current user, next we're going to check if the current user is subscribed to the current course. So we're going to do something like if the current course has any enrollments where the user is the current user. So if the current user has enrollment to the current course, then we're going to check if he has already reviewed or has not reviewed the course. So if the course enrollments now we're going to check if the rating or the review are present. So we're going to do something like where rating is either 0 or nil or blank, and the review, now we must close the gap, is also 0, nil, or blank. Okay, so we are checking if there are any, and if there are, there is going to be a link to edit the subscription. Now we didn't finish, that's why we get the error. So there's going to be a link to add a review, and it's going to point us to the edit enrollment path where the course is the one we found here. So we're going to copy this code and add first. Now we have one extra dot. Now let's close the end statements. Okay. And if we do find a course that has a rating or a review, we're going to say that the user has reviewed. So here we're going to have an else, and we're going to have a text that you have already reviewed. Okay, now let's close all the statements. Now did we miss something? Yeah, it looks like here we have an extra bracket and it must work. So let's try. Okay, let's go to the list of courses. Okay, we have an add a review button. Now let's make it on another row. So we have an add a review button to a course that we have bought. Let's try adding a review. Okay, we have already added a review here. But it still prompts us to add a review, though we want it to prompt us to just have the text, you have left a review, thank you. Now let's clean up the logic a bit to understand where we made the mistake. So we're going to use this variable a few times. Let's set it separately. So user course equals course enrollments where user current user, and here we're going to call user course any. Here we are going to call user course where, and here we are going to call user course first. Let's see if it helps. Maybe this will fix the mistake. Okay, so you have left a review. Thank you. And the mistake was that we didn't add the user current user in this statement. Now we see that we have a loan statement that we can actually move as a scope to our enrollment RB. So let's go to enrollment.rb. And here we are going to create a new scope. So we are going to create a scope. Let's call it pending review. And it's going to lead us to the, so we're just going to copy this, the statement. So the enrollments that are pending review are the ones that have a rating and a review as nil. Let's copy it. And we're going to paste it in such braces. Okay, and now we can use this pending review method in our helper. So let's just add user course pending review any, and you see that it works the same. Now let's make a user be able to see the review that he added here. So we are just going to link to the review or the enrollment that the user left. So we'll have link to review, and it's going to lead to enrollment path. And we're going to have the user course first. Let's see if it works. So review, and we can see this review. Now we don't have the text visible, so let's make it also visible. Like this. Looks nice to me. So in this lesson, we created our first scope in our enrollment RB. We created a helper to see if a user has already reviewed a course or not, and a link to review a course directly in the courses list. Thank you.